Navratra has begun, we're looking at guidelines that have been set by right-wing Hindu groups on who can enter these Garba events. Navratri festivities in Bhopal have begun under the shadow of a controversy. On day one, hoardings right outside Garba venues have triggered quite some outrage and a debate. Posters that bar Muslims from entering these Garba events. And in fact, it blatantly states, these banners says jihadi is not allowed. Those caught will be made to undergo Ghar Wapsi. Organizers have also announced strict conditions for entry into these events. Participants must wear a tilak on the forehead and a sacred thread on the wrist, show their Aadhaar cards at the gate, purify themselves with Ganga water, and in some places they've asked even cow urine to be poured on them. They've been asked to offer prayers in Varaha and Goddess Durga. In fact, to offer prayers to Varaha and Goddess Durga. Apart from that, follow traditional Hindu customs throughout the event. These are the guidelines that have been given and put out clearly by the organizers, of course, backed by the right-wing Hindu groups. Madhya Pradesh Minister Vishvas Sarang has backed this move, saying Garba is a Hindu ritual, not an entertainment show, and that only Hindus should participate. Here's the minister's take.
जो लोग हिंदू धर्म का पालन करते हैं उन्हीं को गरबे में जाना चाहिए, जो हिंदू हैं उन्हीं को गरबे में जाना चाहिए। ये कोई एंटरटेनमेंट का कार्यक्रम नहीं है, ये विशुद्ध रूप से आराधना है देवी माँ की। तो निश्चित रूप से इसमें जो लोग जा रहे हैं वो अपनी आइडेंटिटी बताएं, ये बहुत आवश्यक है। और मुझे लगता है कि जो हिंदू धर्म का पालन नहीं करते वो जाते क्यों? ये कोई एंटरटेनमेंट शो थोड़ी है।
Well, you have the district collector there, Kaushalendra Vikram Singh, who stepped up his own directives. He says clearly that IDs to these Garba events must be checked thoroughly. CCTV cameras must be installed, of course, for safety purposes and to ensure any instance or mishap happens. There's first aid and firefighting that should be arranged to ensure any untoward incident is curbed. But nonetheless, he's very clearly said Aadhaar cards will be checked. He insists that the rules are for safety of women and law and order must be in place. But the hoardings and the statements have really split public opinion here. Supporters argue that these restrictions protect cultural sanctity and safeguard women, while critics call this blatant discriminatory, a dangerous step towards social exclusion. The debate isn't confined to Madhya Pradesh. Remember, this has also happened, guidelines like this also given to some of the Garba events in Maharashtra, where the Vishwa Hindu Parishad there has issued advisories making Aadhaar card mandatory and tilak application as compulsory, even saying Muslims who are so eager to join the event must first convert. Ghar Wapsi, if you convert, then you're welcome. In Rajasthan's Bhilwara, similar ID checks has been mandated. It's been enforced. Organizers are all set to sprinkle Ganga water and cow urine to maintain sanctity as per their own guidelines. This conflict has been simmering for years. It's not new, but it seems like it's formalized now. But last year in Divas, Madhya Pradesh, Hindu Jagran Manch activists had stormed the Garba Pandal, ordering non-Hindus to leave or they will face assault. These were some of the videos that were circulated back then. In Uttar Pradesh, a Muslim artist, Baby Imran, was barred mid-performance. While she was performing, she was stopped. Electricity was cut off. This lady here, she was forced to leave the venue because she was Muslim. In fact, she was invited by the organizers because she spoke fluent Sanskrit, and she, as an artist, she was invited as an artist, she was performing, and electricity was cut off and she was forced to leave. Now, for many, this growing intolerance undermines the spirit of interfaith harmony and threatens the very essence of India's cultural unity. And for many others, this is probably how they want it. Let me bring in our guests, Brinda Adige, social activist and director, Global Concerns India. We also have Ratan Sarda, author and political analyst, and Deshdeep Saxena, author and senior journalist, Madhya Pradesh. Thank you all of you for joining us. Let me start with Mr. Deshdeep, who's joining us live from Madhya Pradesh. Sir, Bhopal, we're looking at some strict mandates there put in place. And, well, I understand this can't be, you know, some of those banners are way too radical for the government to support it either. jihadis are not allowed. I'm sure the government is not backing such statements. But at the same time, you have the same government saying, yes, it's a Hindu festival. What's wrong? Only Hindus should go, nobody else. So that kind of emboldens the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, who's known in past instances to have created a ruckus, assaulting people there. In some videos, we also showed Muslim artist that was performing was forced to leave. Electricity was cut off until she left, though she was invited by the Garba organizers. So this kind of bullying in some of the venues, ensuring that only Hindus participate. Do you believe this is a larger sentiment within Madhya Pradesh, that they don't want anybody else apart from Hindus to be taking part?
Well, I doubt that this is a larger sentiment. Most of the people still want, that these celebrations should be held within communal harmony. But this is, as you said in your opening statement, this has not happened for the first time. It has been going on for long, especially in BJP ruled states. I remember it started few years ago with New Year celebrations, when the right-wing activists would vandalize some hotels or wherever these New Year celebrations are being held. Before this Garba controversy, let me tell you one more thing, that in the past 1 year, the right-wing activists, they have been visiting gymnasiums, gyms, and ensuring, within quotes, that there should not be any Muslim or male Muslim instructor looking after the women members of the gyms. And now this Garba thing. Let me tell you the scale, you would get an idea. About 1600, there's about over 1600 Durga Pandals, including some small tableau. Many of them are holding Garba festivities, the Dandiya, and there is one celebration where the celebrations are being held in almost 3.53 lakh square feet area. There are food festivals.
No, we know it's completely commercialized. I'm not saying all, but many of them are commercialized. And you have tourists coming in out of intrigue and just wanting to be part of the cultural extravaganza. How do you demarcate among thousands and maybe in some venues, lakhs of people, that only Muslims should be left out, the others are welcome? If you're a tourist, if you're a foreigner, you're welcome. Of course, Hindus only event, but apart from that, tourists, foreigners are welcome, but Muslims, you be out.
But it is happening, it is happening.
Is it widespread?
If there are right-wing activists, they are visiting or they are sort of giving their diktat, displaying hoardings. So police is also under tremendous pressure. Nobody wants law and order situation. So, which is why the collector has come up with this idea of having this identity cards, because nobody wants, no collector, no SP or no police inspector want something wrong happening in
basically out of fear the police are complying. Then that shows the failure of the police, that they don't have a spine to stand up to the ethos of the country. But nonetheless, let's not forget instances that have been reported of some people disguising their identity and walking into these events and probably creating trouble. It has happened in the past. There have been instances, we're not denying it. Mr. Ratan Sarda, your take on that. Do you believe these past instances of fake identities being used at Garba events has really fueled this protocol today?
The way you have designed the whole debate is from the beginning, continuously calling Hindus a right-wing, devout Hindus who want their festival to be respected as right-wing, is fine, your call. But tell me, are the Hindus only to carry the flag of secularism and carry the cross of secularism for India? Nobody else is responsible. Why only Hindu festivals are turned secular, some kind of fun-making kind of festival where anybody can rejoice? There is no sanctity there. So you had Onam, which is purely Hindu festival, thousands of years, converted to a secular festival. No, it's not a Hindu festival. You had Sabarimala, you said, no, it's secular, anybody can go. You said Holi is a festival of color, and if everybody has a right, it is not a Hindu festival. Chamundeshwari Devi is not Hindu Devi. That is recently they said. Vijayadashmi is not a Hindu festival. When what is Vijayadashmi? Yeah, Diwali, they said it's a festival of light. It is not a Hindu festival. Pujo, you talked about non-BJP areas. In Puja festival, when during that immersion, Muharram festival gets primary place and Pujo has to wait. That immersion has to wait. This happened. It is on record. So my simple point is, have Hindus no sense of respect for their festival? Why when Hindu says, Papa, mere festival ki izzat karo, let me celebrate the way I want to. Why they are called extremists, right wing, and hate filled people? Do I go and say I will lead Eid prayer? Do I say I will go there and celebrate Eid? Do I say I will go on Christmas and sit on the in the church and trying to tell them what is wrong or right with that church? I went to a condolence meeting of a friend in a church. I was not given the wine and bread. It's fine because I am not a Christian. I went to Jordan the mosque. I was not allowed to enter certain area. I was allowed to get in, saying no, this is a particular area for namaz. Fine. So why do you want to enter a place which you don't respect? You don't believe in puja. You don't believe in murti. You will not bow your head to Durga
Sir,
because you will celebrate
this
Mahan
was
Mahishasur in JNU. That is the freedom of speech. So please, Nabila, let us respect Hindu sentiment also. They have a right to have the festival as Hindu festival. If you want to join as a Hindu festival. Don't try to discolor my festival of my religious fervor or my religious feeling just because you want to say secular. Will we call any other festival like that? We don't. You talked of
you raised
talked of New
objection
Year.
to me calling the entire Hindu community as right-wing Hindu group. I was very pointed by
No, so
saying
even I
right-wing
become
Hindu
right-wing.
groups
For
like the
you,
VHP. I said the VHP
no,
and they
for
are a
you,
right-wing
I am
Hindu
also
group.
right-wing because I am supporting this, the festival to be
You are not VHP,
festival.
sir. Are you
I am
VHP?
RSS. So you can call me. You can call me right-wing.
You are
See,
right-wing. I'm
problem
not
is
saying
why do
no,
we
but
label?
when I speak
We should not
specifically of
label people.
VHP, they've shown
My
radical
nahi,
tendencies in the
Nabila, my
past.
simple request
No,
is
my
this particular, for
only
example, this
contention
just
here
a
is you
moment.
can't deny the fact that the VHP has not indulged in violence. They are a radical group on many
I
levels
didn't
have
talk
shown
about that. I
signs
am
of
saying if this,
radicalism.
if I was to put this banner, I would not put it like this. I would say this festival is only for Hindus. If you
Correct.
believe in Hindu
Precisely. So
Devi,
do you
if you
condemn
believe in
it?
Hindu
That's
faith,
it.
you should
You
do
said
it.
it yourself. Do you condemn this
Yeah.
slogan, jihadi is not allowed?
I am not into. I am saying, why do you condemn Hindu festivals to be celebrated by Hindus? Why do you say it's a fun-loving festival? Let it come. So, condom company can make
I
an
have not said
advertisement.
it. I
Just a
have not
moment,
said it.
Nabila, I'll tell you what
I'm
happens.
exactly giving the picture of what people are
Nabila,
saying,
yes,
the
yes,
sentiments
I am telling
across.
Nabila what it's valid one example. When you start saying every Hindu festival is something of fun-loving, loving, festival for everybody, you have a case of condom company
Sir,
giving an ad on Navratri
lots and
for a
lots of
permissible
temples in India
sexual
do not allow
environment.
non-Hindus.
No, you didn't allow me
Nobody
to
is
finish my
objecting to that.
very critical point. It is neither Hindu nor Muslim. How can a condom company start selling Navratri as some kind of free sexual festival where they sell condom? This is what happens when you dehumanize Hindus, when you dehumanize their festivals. This is where it goes.
No, so, sir, Hindus, nobody is objecting the Hindus to carry out their festivities, but to kind of demarcate that Muslims alone are not going to be allowed, how does it fit into the country's ethos? It does not.
But ethos are only for Hindus, so you will keep
No.
on
What
dehumanizing
part of
my
the Muslim
festivals,
festivals are you not?
separate them away,
Are you not
take them
welcome
away.
to?
No, you're saying
No, you're
you
saying
take
you're
away.
comparing mosques. You're comparing mosques. Sir, most temples don't allow non-Hindus either. Like mosques who do not allow non-Hindus in some areas. Like that, temples also don't allow non-Hindus.
So, point is, why you are dehumanizing Hindus
Nobody
festivals,
is
which are
demonizing,
religious
sir. I'm
festivals?
asking
What
you,
is Navratri?
why do you think this sentiment,
You
this
tell me
Qatar
what is
sentiment is
Navratri.
coming to play?
Okay, Nabila, tell me what is Navratri.
So you tell me, sir. You probably know it much better than I do. So why don't you explain to
No,
our
you
viewers
at
what is
least
Navratri?
know it says 9 days of festival of worshipping Shakti, Durga in various forms all over India in different form or the other, right from Jammu to Punjab to Gujarat to Kolkata to Assam to Golu in South, everywhere. So you have Durga being celebrated and worshipped as a symbol of Shakti across Bharat. It's a religious festival. There is Bhutakama also. So all these festivals ultimately tell you it's a purely religious festival. You want to join as a devout person who respects Durga. You cannot have people who are celebrating Mahishasur and calling Durga various names to
So,
attend that
sir,
festival.
So
You cannot do
you're
that.
basically picking radical elements and pointing out and making a
It is not
generalized
radical
statement.
element. Okay, tell
My
me,
question is,
if I had,
how
see,
do you
I said,
justify
okay,
that
just
a
once,
lady, Baby Imran, who
5
was a
seconds,
singer who was
5 seconds,
invited
5
by the
seconds,
organizers to perform at the Garba event,
5
the
seconds.
VHP barged in, pulled off electricity and shoved her out. Is that okay?
Same VHP invited Muslims to Ram Mandir to Ram Mandir opening. Is it not a fact? So those
No, the
Muslims
same
who
Muslims have
respected
invited
Ram,
Hindus
who
also to
believed in
many
Ram,
dargahs.
attended. Even today, I'm
Hindus have
saying
been invited
that,
to many dargahs as well. And a
well,
lot
that
of
is Hindu's
celebrations, Eid
choice.
celebrations
Dargah is
is
not
as
Islamic.
secular as can be across the country.
Nabila, you know that Dargah, as per Salafist and Deobandis, it's not accepted as haram. Muhammad said you cannot have any symbol. So even Dargah is not actually pure Islam.
Sir,
It is
in
mix
Vaishno
of
Devi
which is what
brothers, you
happening
had
in
some,
India.
you had Vaishno Devi, in Vaishno Devi, there were Muslims who performed in the first
Yes,
few hours.
yes,
So that's the
exactly.
Vadadi
That's the
brothers
point. To
had
my
performed, and
point
that's the
is,
spirit of the
if you
secular country, right?
if you are ready to go inside, worship Durga, do Aarti of Durga, take a tilak, I'm fine.
No,
I'm fine there.
do you believe, sir, that stage will even come? Because here they're
Why
screening
not?
based on Aadhaar. No, they're screening based on Aadhaar. Yeah, I'm just telling you exactly that.
See,
They have said very
someday
clearly
balance,
non-Muslims not allowed. If you want to enter, you have to
someday,
convert.
someday balance will come. When you abuse Hindus for asserting their religious rights, this will happen. Extremism will happen only when you become balanced. You start taking as they respect the religion. They will also balance, and they will also realize we are going to extremes.
Okay. Why
Then they
only
will go to
Muslims?
balance.
My question is why only Muslims? Why not all? Why not no foreigners allowed, no Christians allowed, no
Foreigners
Parsis
if
allowed,
I said
no Jews allowed?
anybody who goes with respect, celebrates Durga, does puja and arti for Durga, I'm saying it's fine with me. It's
Okay.
my view.
Okay. Now, and that's certainly a very a logical and a balanced view that you have. But my point here is that the VHP groups, which their sentiments that's also echoed by the Maharashtra government, a minister also saying that yeah, Hindus only should be participating in it, is a bit of a disappointer, because that's emboldening such groups to actually put out posters like that says jihadi is not allowed into Garba events. And let's not forget that a lot of these Garba events have been commercialized. It's no more just a sacred small group or a large group performing only Hindu rituals. It's been like our senior journalist from Madhya Pradesh said, it's a festival of culture. It's a festival of food. It's like acres of land where they hold this Garba event. Some of them are ticketed. So it
I'm
kind
not
of
for
spoils
commercialization. With all due respect,
but
whoever
that's
says
what's
that, I'm not
happened,
for
sir.
commercialization of the festival. Neither Ganpati nor Durga, I don't want them to be commercialized the way they are. I'm against that also. So what?
Okay. Let me bring in Brinda Adige. I think we've kept her waiting too long. Brinda, your take on this. We're looking at restrictions to oppose Muslims, clear cut. Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Rajasthan. Protocols have been given that those entering will have to wear a tilak. Holy water will be poured on them, and in some places they've said even cow urine will be sprayed on them to maintain sanctity, and only then will they be allowed after checking identity cards. Now, I don't know if they check identity cards and they see a Muslim, whether they're going to allow them or not, whether they will give the opportunity to that person to go inside and show respect to the goddess, we don't know. But these are the rules. What does that appear to you?
Nabila, first and foremost, having that kind of a poster outside a event is unacceptable and unconstitutional. Branding a certain group of people believing in a certain religion as anything without having any legal connotations to it. Now, you can tell me that, you have proven that I'm a terrorist, and so you might call me a certain name. But putting out something like that is just identity politics. Now, that said, the earlier panelists as well as you have mentioned that this is not only a religious event, it is also a cultural event, and it is often, of late, a lot of it is a paid event. Now, historically, if you look at the Navratri Garba, it has been a social cohesion cultural celebration. There is one part of it that is there with the pujas that is done, but prasad was never denied to anybody. Participating in the Garba, the dance itself, the cultural celebrations itself was never denied to anybody. I myself remember going and attending so many of these functions. Even today, we have invitations to go over there in many of the private ones. Now, over here, when this is coming, it is certainly right wing, it is certainly identity politics, and it is breaking that social cohesion that was built over many, many years, and now it is going to be broken with this whole show me your ID card, you wear a tilak, and I will sanctify you, and only then I will let you inside.
But
All of that just goes to
Brinda,
show I am not going to be respected as an Indian citizen who's willing to go inside there, respecting whatever are those cultural norms that that happen
but
inside.
my only limited point here is that for those who may be condemning this, there have been cases in the past where Muslim men particularly going inside, misbehaving. I'm not saying Muslims alone. That way you're also, in fact, how do we know that it's Muslim boys alone who are going and misbehaving? You never know what caste, community, creed they come from. Just weeding out Muslims, will that ensure safety of women entirely? We don't know. But the point is that this has happened in the past where some Muslim boys were dragged out because they were touching, grabbing or whatever. It's happened in the past. They have created nuisance. It's happened. And instances like this in pockets has led to this kind of radical sweeping measures by the VHP and their supported groups.
We know that there is a certain target only on Muslim men or Muslim people, and women's safety. Are you saying that the Christian men, the Buddhist men, and the Hindu men, or the Jain and the Sikh men are better off and they do not grope and touch? Very recently, 2 months ago, you saw what happened in Bangalore, somewhere in Karnataka or Bangalore, where women who had gone to a temple and there were men and young boys who were groping women in that celebration. And police did catch all of them, nearly 480 of them. So we are not talking of a small number on a single evening. And they were all, of course, fined 20, 80 rupees, whatever it is. So let us not harp on the women's safety part of it as only certain men doing these kind of things. We know that men across all religions, caste and class do indulge in gender-based violence, sexual molestation, sexual harassment in public spaces. So that said, I think talking about Muslim men, of course, there might be some cases. Now, we would like to find out why the police did not highlight all the cases and brought out only Muslim cases, but that is another different argument. Here, you want to check Aadhaar cards, please do so, because you are addressing safety. But if you're going to be looking at those Aadhaar cards to decide and say that I'm a Muslim, and then you add a little more to say you convert for the Navratri festivals, Garba dance, cultural celebration, you're asking me to convert? Now, if that is not right-wing extremism, trying to, heap the identity politics and say that if you cannot become this, then you cannot take part in this, then we have lost out on our unity in diversity.
Okay.
We must scrap that entire phrase.
Right. Let me bring in Mr. Ratan Sharda on that.
Sir. I'll just make very small comments. First of all, today itself in Mankhurd in Mumbai, a Durga Ma being brought to the Pandal was attacked. All the four are Muslims. The hand of the idol was broken. And this happens during every Durga Puja nowadays. So Hindus need police protection for celebrating their festivals right from north to south, east to west. Is it not identity politics? Then you talked of police station during Garba. I can tell you, I have been around since my birth in Maharashtra, where there are Garba festivals right from day one. I have never found one case of molestation in any of the Garba Navratri. If you go to Surat, Gujarat, girls move around till 2 a.m. in the morning. There are thousands of people there. Not one molestation case has been reported.
Sir,
and if you go to
there
south,
are festivals.
and
Hyderabad She team has detained 600 men at a Hindu temple event.
It's very
600
bad.
men, and it's repeatedly happening.
I am talking Navratri. I am not talking what is happening in
How
Navratri.
How is Navratri different from if it's a public gathering? Women are there, women are dancing, women are dressed. It's attracting perpetrators, irrespective of which event where.
I am gone to Tamil Nadu, where even at night, 1 and 2 a.m., women who move freely, there is no problem at all. One exceptional case, they must be punished very hardly. And if somebody says jihadi, that means actually those people are differentiating with jihadi and Muslims. So why are you boiled up that every Muslim is jihadi? Has anyone
So
said
then
that?
my only question
No.
here is maybe our
My point
journalist,
is, and secondly, why
Deshdeep,
Muslims are not bringing girls? Why Muslims are not bringing girls to
that's
the
a
Garba?
point.
Why
I
only
agree
boys
with
are
that
coming?
point. Many of the Muslim boys come, they say, without their wives, just to enjoy.
Yes,
I'm not
sisters
denying
or
it.
wives, they should
But
come.
is it limited to religion?
Yes,
Hindu boys going out and partying without their wives?
they go with their brother, sister, they go with the brother. I'm talking
So,
typically of Navratri.
okay,
I'm not talking of any other thing.
okay, I'm saying in general.
I'm
Okay,
not
all
talking of
right,
clubbing.
all right.
Don't bring Navratri equal to clubbing, please.
No, I'm not
Respect my
clubbing. I'm saying
sentiments.
don't they go out without their wives at all?
No, for Navratri, they go together.
That's
Men, women, brother, sister, everybody
that's
goes
a
together.
custom in the religion. I agree, but anyway,
Okay,
this is going to go. This is it will. I know what you're saying, and you know what I'm saying. So let's. Deshdeep Saxena, final word from you, sir. Here, sir, Mr. Ratan Sarda says only jihadis have to be worried. Others need not be worried. But my limited question here is, if Aadhaar card says Imran, will he be allowed into a Garba event in Bhopal now?
I doubt whether he would be allowed. And I also doubt whether Imran would actually go and would invite trouble.
Okay.
Because the situation is actually tense. Why we are discussing all this? Because we share a we had a glorious past of communal harmony and cultural diversity, which is now, these festivals used to be celebrated in a very communal harmony way. But now it has become the equations of communal tension because of the obvious reasons, and we all know why it is happening. There's a lot of politics, which is involved.
Okay, you say that this is politics. Brinda, I'll take your final word before I wrap here.
Yes, Nabila, it is very sad that a festival that had always been welcoming of all kinds of people, neighbors, friends, and family, today poses such a terrible, divisive tactic to separate people, to harp on divisiveness, and the entire ethical freedom that citizens can have, irrespective of their religion, to go and be part of this cultural celebration. And I think today we want to ask this question. When India is talking about being on the world map, are we continuing to break ourselves into small pieces and then claim that we are mother of democracy?
My only question, and I will stress on what Mr. Ratan Sarda says, why only expect secularism from Hindus? Just a limited 30-second answer from you. Why only secularism from Hindus?
Why they are all celebrating?
Christians.
Christmas is equally commercialized. Everybody has Christmas parties and even Thanksgiving parties they have. We have nothing against it. Please do. You celebrate. You're happy, you're with your family and your friends, and that social cohesion is what we want.
Okay. That's it. Thank you very much. I'm short on time on that. I really appreciate Mr. Ratan Sarda, Brinda Adige, and Deshdeep for joining us on that.